Yeah. 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 Hello, Paul.
Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. Hello, Michaela.
Actually sitting close enough when he throws the pitch.
Thank you.
You can catch the pitch.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Page 10 in your siddur. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's all take a deep breath together. Slowly let it out. And one more breath. Wow, there's all kinds of noise going on out there. This Shabbat, the first of 2024, we start reading from a new book of the Torah known as Shemot. It's the second book of the Torah. It is called Shemot or Exodus. And with newness comes hope, the promise of a fresh beginning. And though the story that will soon unfold is one of degradation and slavery, the book begins with the birth of a new baby, Moshe, Moses. The French rabbi Marc-Alain Joachim comments that a child is born by hope. His time is virtually messianic. Rather, the child does not have hope, the child is hope. Hope is knowledge that everything is always open, that the future is a gift that life offers us, because one can always transform oneself, change paths, invent new ways without being trapped in the role of adults in which we shut ourselves or in which others have imprisoned us. As the Yotzer Or prayer teaches, God renews creation every single day. To live is to be born again in every moment. And so we begin this secular new year and this new section of Torah with the hope and promise of a new beginning. And to usher in this Shabbat of hope, I'd like to invite Melinda and Michael Berman for the kindling of the Shabbat candles. And we'll turn now to page 2 in our Siddurim.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וקידשנו להדליק נר של שבת.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen.
Amen. And we turn now to page 4 for the opening words of the Kiddush.
Vayehi erev, vayehi boker, Yom Hashvi'i. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה ורצון הנחילנו זיכרון במעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
L'chaim, and thank you to the Burmans. We're going to continue with the prayer together at the bottom of page 9. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope together, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. We turn now to page 20 to welcome in the Sabbath bride.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד ישמענו למיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי הברכה מראש מכם נשוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבל
ולה. התעוררי כי באורך ומאורי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך לקראת קלה הנה שבת תקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה הנה שבת תקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה הנה שבת
We remain standing if you're able, and turn to page 24 for Shalom Aleichem.
שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי אלוהים ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי אלוהים ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליונים מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. רוחם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. רוחם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. רוחם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליונים מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליונים מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליונים, מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We remain standing as you're able and turn to page 28 for the call to worship. We open our hearts to prayer at this moment.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch et Adonai המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה לה, יה לה 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 לה.
You may be seated. We continue our prayers together with the Ma'ariv Aravim on page 31 at the top of the page in English. Together, praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Continue with Ahavat Olam, page 32.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, דינים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, please join me, אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נצליח בחוקיך, נשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. כי הם חיינו, כי הם חיינו, באורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו, העולמים. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
In our Torah portion this week, God appears to Moses from a burning bush. And when Moses asks God, "What should I call you?" God responds, "Ehyeh asher ehyeh." I will be what I will be, or I will be who I am becoming, or I will be who I was, who I am, who I will be. Even the words in Hebrew are fluid with not one consonant. Ehyeh asher ehyeh. The whole statement is breath. God's name is the sound of breath. And just as God breathed life into Adam in the Garden of Eden and into each one of us, it is this breath which connects us to one another, to God, and to all of humanity. And so we feel that sense of connection as we recite these words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
This week, the story of freedom begins to unfold in the Torah, not just with one person or one action, but with a series of people and of actions. The midwives who refused to heed the Pharaoh's edict to kill the Hebrew babies. Moses' mother Yocheved, who hid Moses. Moses' sister Miriam, who watched over and protected Moses. Pharaoh's daughter Batya, who drew Moses out of the Nile and took him in to be her own son. Moses, who listened when God called, and God, who finally heard the cries of the Israelites. And every year when I read this story, I take away the same message, and that message is that freedom is infinitely regressible. It's not one person or one action. It is a series. It is each person and each action that we take. Each one of us can be the one that leads to that moment, to this moment, this prayer, this crossing of the water into freedom. Mi Chamocha, page 40.
מי כמוך באלים, אדוני, מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי, זה אלי, האלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים, אדוני, מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש.
We turn now to page 44 for the singing of Vishamru, where we extol the covenant of Shabbat, which as a people we keep in every day and every age.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם.
I invite you to rise as you're able as we turn to page 46 for the Amidah. As we recite these words of our prayer book, at the conclusion, we'll leave some time for prayers of your heart. And when you're finished, you may be seated.
אדוני, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן נטל החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom again. There you go. Our Torah portion this week is complex and thick. One midrash teaches us that the columns of this week's Torah text are wrinkled more than any other section of the Torah. This portion is about tears, and it evokes tears. The section begins with a paradigmatic shift. We read, "There arose a Pharaoh who did not remember Joseph," a very powerful line. All of our good fortune in pre-slavery Egypt was about to disappear. Our well-being was entirely tied to the professional and personal relationship between Joseph and Pharaoh. In just a few short verses, we go from being a well-established, accepted minority, and we become a battered slave workforce. We recall this story every Passover. The sadness of this kind of existence is great. Oftentimes, we create a hierarchy of sadness. My friend reminds me that bad sadness is the sadness of your friend. Worse sadness is the sadness in your family. And the worst kind of sadness is the sadness that we each carry in our heart and in our souls. But this same friend also reminded me that our sadness and our tears can be relative and contextual. Before I talk about the sadness and the tears in the Torah, I must reflect on my own sadness for a moment. Last week, as I was packing for a wedding in Denver, I was thinking about the slaves as they packed to leave for their eventual exodus. I thought, if I could only take one article of clothing with me, what would it be? Just think about it for a moment. Only one article of clothing. What would you take? What would it be? The answer for me was clear. My beloved green hat, which I've been wearing every day for over a decade. I really liked, in the past tense, that hat. I said liked because when I picked up my car, and hopefully my hat, from the valet in Denver on New Year's Eve, it was gone. Perhaps the wind blew it out of my locked car. Maybe a cold, homeless person needed it, regardless of whether it was stolen, misplaced, which it wasn't, or lost, which it wasn't. The reason it was gone really doesn't matter. I was sad. As I stood in the hotel driveway shortly after midnight, I started to cry. And it wasn't just for my hat, but they were tears of loss. That hat was important to me. I immediately thought about the many innocents who have died during these past 2-3 months, and the many people that I buried in 2023, and the hostages stolen from their families, and the innocents stolen from an entire generation. And when I returned, the tears multiplied when I heard about the sudden and tragic death of our member, Mike Conway. So much pain. I realized that no hierarchy of sadness exists, just tears, just tears. We read in the Torah that the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe in the Nile. She saw the basket, we know Moses was in the basket, and sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw that it was a child, baby Moses. V'hinei na'ar bocheh, and behold, look, a boy crying. This is a strange verse. Na'ar means boy, not infant. The rabbis ask, why does this verse say Na'ar, boy or young man, and not baby or infant? And why does it say that the boy was that she saw the boy crying? Don't we usually hear the boy crying? One rabbinic response is that Moses was already acting old beyond his years. He was already controlling his tears. The Midrash says that Pharaoh's daughter saw him cry, but did not hear him cry. The Midrash continues that the angel Gabriel came down and actually hit Moses so that he would cry, thus evoking compassion from Pharaoh's daughter, which is why she saw him, and Moses was saved. Another explanation, I like this one, was that Na'ar was quite literal. Pharaoh's daughter saw a young boy crying, but it wasn't Moses. It was Aaron who was standing in the bushes crying for his brother. How many times do we do that? We cry for our brother, our sister, our friend. The third response is that Moses' cry was so deep, so painful, so real, so heartfelt, so filled with agony, that his silent cry was louder than the greatest wail, and in fact, the tears of this silent cry wrinkled the Torah itself. Obviously, the Midrash and the commentators are concerned with this verse and its lack of clarity. Here Moses is wailing, and yet when he dies at 120, the text says his eyes were undimmed, and the Midrash adds, undimmed by tears. Moses' cry is not the simple cry of a child. His tears are the symbol of all kinds of weeping, personal, national, cosmic, past tears, present, future, tragedy, life, joy, private tears, public. They are the tears of thought and feeling. V'hinei na'ar bokeh. Behold, look, a child is crying. Look, see, a child is crying. Know its significance. Understand its centrality. Learn from this weeping. Whether this weeping is for our world, our nation, our homeland, community, our people, our friends or family, or ourselves, it is natural, understandable, and emotionally healthy to be sad and to cry. And yet, we are cautioned by our tradition to make sure that our tears are not in vain, but rather that they move us to change and grow toward life, love, and joy. The Talmud says that there are tears that are compared to smoke, and there are tears that are like seeds. Tears that are like smoke dissipate and disappear without a trace. Tears that are like seeds fall to the ground and create everlasting results. Too often, I think, we sometimes cry tears that dissipate like smoke. We cry over things that maybe we shouldn't be crying about when there is so much in our world that really does deserve that pain and the tears and sadness. May the tears of our Torah and our souls continue to be like seeds that fall to the ground. May these seeds bloom into new life, new growth, new change. It is not easy, but tears that lead us to change, to grow and evolve, no matter the reason why we cry, those tears can also be beautiful. King Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will that our tears be like seeds that flourish. Amen.
Thank you so much, Rabbi, for those healing words. We're going to continue our service with a prayer for healing. There is so much grief and woundedness and pain, illness in this room, in Israel, in the world. And so if you yourself are in need of a prayer for healing, or you have a loved one who's in need of a prayer, I invite you to share the name with us at this time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kim? Thank you, Alice. For all those we've named, for all those we hold in our hearts, we say this prayer of healing.
Helena refana la, refana lanu. Helena refana la, refana lanu. If you're so moved, please repeat after me. Dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days. Elena refana la, refana lanu. Elena refana la, refana lanu. Restore the strength of body. Help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirits. Rejuvenate our light. Elena refana la, refana lanu. Elena refana la, refana lanu. Thank you for all these blessings throughout our days and nights. We celebrate this journey, this precious gift of life. Elena refana la, refana lanu. Elena refana la, refana lanu.
Our prayers continue with the Aleinu on page 282. And if you're able, I invite you to please rise as we face Jerusalem.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ללמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
May be seated. Page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. We continue on page 294. We think about all those who have died in recent days and those who are in the shloshim of their mourning. We remember Rabbi Dr. David Ellenson, Miguel Oliveira, Lieutenant Nathaniel Menachem Eitan, Charles Gratz, R.V. Rogers, and our dear Michael Conway. We think about all those who have fallen in recent days, all those innocents in Israel and in Gaza. We think of all those whose yortzites are observed on this Shabbat, whose names are lovingly inscribed in our alcove of remembrance. Herman Barron, Jean Bryn, Ray Chesler, Rosalie Echeverria, Harry Farr, Ben Friedman, Harriet Shirley Glickstein, Arnold Haber, Aladar Kellerman, Seymour Levy, Carlos Lalo Lindenfeld, Louis Lipsky, Sandra Miriam Mordahovich, Doris Oleski, Zenith Pasternak, and Ruth K. Rosenblum. And we remember those other yortzites that are observed on this Shabbat: Max Alperstein, Ronald Asher, Martin Baranek, Sylvia Barron, Mario Rubin Blinder, William Brandon, Brunel Bransfield, Louis Bruno, Frida DeHuki, Selma Graboy Frost, Anne Ruth Gluskin, Claire Goldman, Emmanuel Greenwald, Willard Holbert, David Jacobson, Solomon Jove, Barbara Kaiser, Jerry Klein, Clara Jean Cooper Klein, Myrtle Epstein Collar, Harold Corman, Ronald Krongold, Frida Lerner, Ben Luchter, Tilly Lubin, Robert C. Magoon, Ruth Michon Dedor, Harold Rogenson, Nicole Lisa Science, Hazel Sherbel, Sherman Simon, Betty Amder Snetman, Louis Tabor, Barbara Tishman, David Weatherhorn, and Ruth Wharton. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing to all those who knew them and who loved them, and may their light stay with them. We think of those who perished in the Shoah. We think of the soldiers who have died in Israel and our American soldiers who have died so that we might live in freedom. And I invite you to rise, please, if you have another name to share with the congregation that I haven't mentioned. Please remain standing. Thank you, and I'll invite the whole congregation to rise as you're able. Together we recite these words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'yizman kari v'yamru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all of us who are bereaved and all who are bereaved everywhere with God's blessing of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Except for Sarah Shore, Sarah Last time, Sarah's a new member of our Board of Trustees, and when she gave her first announcement, she had her sidekick Sasha with her, who I'm missing here tonight because I could use a laugh. But thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As the rabbi said, my name is Sarah Shore, and I'm a member of the Temple Beth Shalom Board of Trustees. I just wanted to highlight the following for you. Tomorrow, Saturday, January 6th. Torah study is beginning at 9:30 a.m., followed by Shabbat services at 10:30 a.m. For those of you attending Tat Shabbat, that is at 10 a.m. It's also a little bit of a circus for a little bit of a break. Monday, January 8th at 4 p.m., Israel, October 6th, 7th, and 8th. Until now and moving forward with my calendar, it's the first of a three-part series. Sorry, it's the last of a three-part series. Wednesday, January 10th at 6 p.m., there's an art exhibition opening and reception with artist Sheila Elias. Friday, January 12th at 6 p.m., MLK Shabbat 2024 with special speaker Senator Severin Jones. January 19th and 20th, join us for the 2024 Kavanah Retreat featuring Rabbi Lawrence Hoffman, and you can make your reservations on the website. And finally, please check the website at www.tbsmb.org to learn more about temple activities and how to support Israel during this tragedy. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
We're going to conclude our Shabbat service this evening with words of peace. We all need peace in our lives. I'll invite you to rise, and if you're comfortable, to put your arm around your neighbor. Oseh Shalom, page 321.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, יישר כוח.